Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today in Cochrane it's sort of like a spring day. The sky's nice and blue and the snow's melting, but it's terribly windy. So you might hear sort of the trees blowing and everything, and I apologise if it's distracting at all. But today's card I'm using the Forever Blossoms set from the mini catalogue and the matching dies that go with it. And I'm going to make this really easy layout card. I've started off with the base in thick Whisper White, and I like this better for card bases just because it's a little bit more sturdy. So that's my base, and then I've got a little piece of the Granny Apple Green, and I've already run it through the Hammered Metal folder, and it gives it this almost like, well, just like hammered metal, but it's also a little bit sort of almost like crocodile kind of skin or something. I love the bumps in it. You can use it the other way up and it gives a different texture altogether, but I like this side, and so this is what I'm going to use just for my layer. And you can see I've only left a small piece of white all the way around it, and I'm going to stick that one on. This was one of the little embossing folders that came out at Christmas, and it looks stunning if you're using a foiled card with it. It really does look pretty. But I do also like it just on our flat cards too. There we go. It just gives you that little bit of depth. Okay, and then I've cut out already a little piece of the thinner Whisper White, and I've run it through another embossing folder. I put it through the subtle one, and it's really hard to see this, but it's almost like a linen thread pattern. And unlike the first card, I've started to distress the edges because I thought that look might be really nice on this card. I don't have a distressing tool, I only ever use my scissors. And because I've already put it through the embossing folder, where the little lines are, it seems to distress really easily. So all I do is I just run one scissor blade along the edge, and it really quickly gives you that sort of shabby chic-y kind of a look. And you can use it either way up. I know some people like this look where the edges are turned up more, but I actually like it this way. So that's going to be sort of another background layer, and I'm just going to again glue that down. I don't need this to be on dimensionals. I don't need it to be popped up at all. I want it to be a flat layer. And I'm not going to put it exactly in the middle. I want it to be sort of a bit more towards the top left. So I've still got that nice border all the way around it, but of course this side border, they're a little bit thicker or wider. Okay. Now I've already gone ahead and I've used this stamp and stamped it in soft suede. I did try it with black and I tried it with a smoky slate, but I actually liked it in this soft suede colour. And there it is stamped, and I've also then run the die over the top of it so it's cut out, and this is actually the one I'm going to colour. So I've just got a little piece of scrap, and I'm only using two colours. I've got the Granny Apple Green, because that's what colour my backing layer was here, and I've got the Petal Pink because I just like the colour of these blossoms done in that, but it would look really pretty in like a pale pink or the Highland Heather. So there are lots of colours that it would look nice with, but I just want this pink effect. And I'm going to use my light Granny Apple Green, and I'm just quickly sort of colouring in these leaves. Because they've already got all of that shading in, it makes it really easy for you to get sort of a different colours, even though you're only using the one colour. And if you wanted to put extra colours in, just use the darker granny apple green and go over the leaves again in little areas, and that will give you more in the way of shading. And I've just noticed that there's a little piece of card still in there. There we go. Okay, now I'm still going to use the green, but I want to use the narrower bullet end just to do these little stems. Let's do a little bit of these little leaves on the buds here as well. I think that's all of them. And then I'm just going to go over each flower with the lighter petal pink. And I'm really not putting a lot of effort into colouring. I will be going over them again in a minute because I want to put some of the darker petal pink on those shaded areas. But I quite like the effect where the flower isn't fully coloured in all the way to every edge, and that you've got some little white bits showing too. Okay, so now I've got the darker one, and just where that extra shading is on the stamp, that's where I'm just putting a little bit more colour. And if you wanted to use watercolour crayons with this, or an aqua painter, oh, let's look, I just missed a little bit of green there. Yeah, you could use an aqua painter, or you could put little few drops of ink on a clear block and then just use a paintbrush, whatever way you like to colour. Okay, then I'm just going to take the lighter one, just go over some bits as well, just to blend that light and dark together. But again, I'm leaving some little bits that are not coloured in at all. I love that the stamps are doing most of the work for you on shading, because I'm a bit of a lazy colourer. And so that works for me. Okay, so you can see how it already looks like we've got lots of different colours within each flower. Let's get our base back again. Now the only other thing we need to do is our sentiment, and I'm using this one that says "You mean so much to me." And because I stamped the flowers themselves in the soft suede, then I stamped that sentiment in the soft suede as well. And I used one of our rectangle dies. So I had the stamp in and I ran it through this little die, and it gives you just that little stitched edge around it. And it was just a perfect size for that sentiment. And then this sentiment is, oh, let's get rid of that paper. This sentiment is going to go up the bottom right. And remember how I offset this? I want this to be offset as well, so that I've got the distance here, or the gap here, is the same as this gap here. And then it sort of all ties in, it pulls your eye, and you don't think, oh, you know, she stuck that on, it's not straight, or she didn't put it in the middle. It just means that it sticks on a bit nicer. And I'm going to pop it on with dimensionals. You can see I stamped this twice and that one wasn't straight, so always turn a piece of paper over. Not a problem if you don't get it straight. I'm going to use this long piece from my dimensionals, and I'm going to put it across the bottom. Okay. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on here because this will stick in places. It will stick onto this second piece of card here. Let's have a look. That looks, you know, when you're just eyeballing it, that looks very much the same as that border there. So for me, that works. There we go. Now, if you want any other kind of embellishment or something, you could always put, let me find the twine. You could always put some of the twine around here. Tie a little bow, or the whisper white twine as well, but I'm just leaving mine quite plain. The only other thing I've got to adhere is this little flower. So I'm going to pop dimensionals on the back just randomly so that I know I've got the majority of the flower covered over, and it isn't going to sag or get bent or anything. I'm putting quite a lot on. You could cut them in half if you wanted to, or use the smaller dimensionals. I just want to make sure that I've got enough on there. Take all these little backings off. This is what takes the time, taking little backings off. Just check that I've got them all. I just check with my finger, and if it sticks on my finger, I know I've got all of them. Okay, and then for this one, I'm just going to put it over here, so it's just slightly touching the sentiment as well. And then for my embellishments, on the last one, I used the little sequins that we have, but we've also got, let's move that other little sequin. We've also got the rhinestones in the champagne, and I think that would look quite nice too. Now, what shall I use? They're a bit too shiny. Let me find the others. Oh, I can't see the other piece with the green ones on. I do like it with this petal pink sequin on as well, though. What do the white ones look like? I don't know if the white ones would actually show up. Let's try one. Oh, they're very difficult to see. They look quite sort of classic, though. Let's have a look. No, I can't see those enough. I want people to know there is something there. So I think I'm going to go back to my little petal pink sequins. Oops. And I'm just going to pop 3 on. I like to have sort of 2 very near each other, and 1 just off on its own. So there we are. That's my quite fast little card for today. I'll put the other one there as well, where I didn't distress the edges. See, this one was just as it had come out of the embossing folder, and I didn't cut, or I didn't use the blades on the scissors to make this little distressed edge. Not sure, which ones do you like best? Do you like them with the distressed one, or do you prefer the nice clean cut of it just being cut on the trimmer and then through the embossing folder? I hope you will give that a go. It is a really nice layout. It doesn't have to be this flower that goes on it. If you had the daisy punch, just one beautiful daisy here would give you that same effect, and you can use the same layout for that. Or you could use it for the sail away things, the set where it has the little boat. That would look nice. Just the same layers, maybe with a night of navy for a masculine colour, and just a little boat here. I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, but thank you so much for watching me, everybody. Starting next week, I will be doing a couple of Facebook Lives, and if you're interested in watching, check out my blog, because that will give you the dates and the times that I'm going to go live. Or you can go over to my Facebook page, which is also Crafts by the Bow, and it will be live on the Facebook page. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye.